Bob Fryer here in the AAPEX studio. I want to thank our sponsors, Repairify and Great Water 360 Auto Care. Our good friend, Chris Gardner, the Senior VP there at the aftermarket industry. Good to see you, my friend. Nice to talk to you. And you know, there's three topics that I have been talking about a lot this week. It's right to repair and sustainability, and then artificial intelligence. It seems to be on everybody's mind, right?
Yep, it is.
But some people just want to sing its praises and say it's all good, but nothing is all good, right?
No, it's not. I mean, for sure, AI has all kind of promises, and it's going to get better and better and better because by definition, it gets smarter over time.
Yeah.
It's going to be here. To use the word sustainability, I think that technology is going to be around for a long time. I really do. But no, there are serious concerns. Number one is that we're borrowing, you're using information from the public domain, but also sometimes sharing information with the public domain. That's a huge concern because that's copyrighted information, that's internal information, proprietary information, whatever, and so there's a big concern there. Another concern is, I think we may become too reliant on AI, and I think that may hurt our ability as humans to think for ourselves, to be creative or whatever. There's also another concern, and that is, if you're going to use AI to create an output, whatever it is, you have to understand that the source of the information. So if you're using the public domain for some of that, keep in mind some AI applications are purely internal and using internal data. But if you're using the public domain, how do you trust the source? What is it based on? So that could undermine the credibility of its output.
Yeah, some people have talked about comparing it to the internet, the moment the internet became viable. And yeah, it's a great tool, but it had its drawbacks. It has in some ways brought us together, but in many ways it's kept people apart from so there are challenges to everything. What would you say to a company to say, I want you to be able to minimize some of the risks going on with AI? How would you advise them?
Well, excuse me. That's a great question. There are steps that companies can take. Number one is to look at your current IT policies, corporate policies, and all companies have some sort of an IT policy. What employees can and can't do with the tools that they're given, with their software, with their cloud-based applications. You have to look at your IT policies and make sure they address AI. Most currently don't. A lot of companies in our industry I know of are they're reviewing their IT policy, corporate policies. Another is be careful not to share internal information with the outside world or the public domain. And there's a way to do that. There's actually there's free software that has AI applications that borrows from the public domain but shares your information with the public domain. But you can also purchase AI tools, AI software that is the best of both worlds. It's costly, but it will leverage or utilize inputs and data from the public domain, but doesn't allow any of your internal information to be shared with the public domain. That's the best of both worlds. That software does exist. You have to pay for it. It's a little expensive.
Let me ask you, at MEMA, Aftermarket Suppliers, anything specifically that you guys have put in place, and how far back have you put plans in place to make sure that AI doesn't get out of hand or get misused or whatever?
Well, we're not using it with our organization internally, but so we're trying to help our members bring some of these things we're talking about to our members, and so we've already had conversations with Microsoft and a lot of other leading software providers to help guide our members, and a lot of what I'm sharing with is what I've learned from them. But one of our members has already completely rewritten their corporate IT policies around this and told their employees exactly what they can and cannot do to make sure they're protecting their internal information. Because I tell you, Bob, AI's got tons of promises.
Sure, absolutely.
Creativity, productivity, and ultimately probably even profitability. But the best advice we're giving our members and we're hearing people talk about is be cautious, be wise, and do your due diligence before you just let all your employees just use it any way they want to.
Absolutely, yeah. You always worry when something is so shiny and new and it looks like it can be so great, and it can be. It can be, but nothing is without its challenges and concerns.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, good to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you. It was fun. I loved it.
Always enjoy it.
It's good.
Oh, you're always welcome here.
All right.
All right. Hey, when you're out and about at AAPEX 23, make sure you take those pictures and share them on social media, but use that hashtag AAPEX 23. I'm Bob Fryer here in the AAPEX studio.